I recently took on a wall mural project with help from this beautiful wall mural from Limitless Walls. And here are some helpful hints that I wish I knew before I started the project. Number 1, order a sample and test it out on your walls. Do your walls have texture? Put the sample up, leave it for a day, see if it sticks, and see how much texture shows through. Maybe it's fine. Maybe you can just do it with the texture on the wall. But for me, I didn't like the texture showing through. So if you don't like the texture, you have to smooth the wall. And there are multiple ways to do this. First, I tried polywall panels, thinking I could just cover up the texture with this big panel, but they were too heavy and they refused to cooperate. So then I had to pivot and skim coat the wall. That was the better solution. But once you decide to pivot, it's important to check out more DIY videos. I ended up skim coating a very long, slow, tedious way. And then after the fact, found some good videos on how to have a more abundant process and really get the mud on the wall first so it wasn't so time consuming. A new lesson I learned for any project, and that is to buy more than you think you need. It's better to return things than to have to make an unexpected trip to the hardware store in the middle of your project. Skim coating is messy. There will be dust everywhere. Make sure you have a vacuum on hand and that you're constantly vacuuming and cleaning that wall. You're either skim coating or you're sanding. You're not doing both at the same time. And if you try to skim coat some places and sand in other places, you're just going to end up with mud and you're not going to know what's wet and what's dry. Ask me how I know this. Let the skim coat dry longer than you think. I rushed it because I had somebody coming over to help me. And so I just got in too big of a hurry and I didn't let things cure. Give it a couple of days. As much as I wanted to skip steps, priming the wall was a must after skim coating. Joint compound is dusty and chalky, and the wallpaper adhesive won't bond to it. Primer is non-negotiable. And again, buy more than you think you need. Let things cure. That primer probably could have used a few days to cure. I only waited 1 day and the painter's tape peeled right off. I was trying to get this cool zoom in, zoom out effect, and that's how I learned that lesson. And that should have been a red flag to stop and wait, but I didn't. I just kept going. And that made it harder for us to reposition the wallpaper on the wall because every time we picked it up, we were getting a little bit with it. You got to know what kind of seams you're working with. Do you have an overlap in your pattern or are you butting up the joints? My mural had a 2-inch overlap and we tried this cut down the middle approach to get rid of the overlap. Luckily, we tried it low on the wall where the couch was going to hide it, but we didn't love the result. Magic markers turned out to be our friend. So some tiny imperfections or where the fibers from the wallpaper backing were sticking out, we were able to color match and get rid of a lot of the visible seams. But overall, you got to sit down and appreciate the big picture. Don't obsess over the tiny flaws. I learned something. I am so ready to help the next person with their wall mural project, or if I ever dare to do this again, I'll know exactly what to do.